Yo, yo, yo! Welcome to part 5 of my playthrough of Ace Combat 2.
Destroying the enemy's prototype bomber. From the data found in the enemy's arms production base, we have discovered that a prototype bomber is currently in development. According to our data, development of this experimental airplane is nearing completion, and the project has been moved to a facility in Pomona Islands for the final stages of fine-tuning. It would be a great threat to us if they are able to roll out these new bombers. We want you to attack the production hangar, seek out the prototype bomber, and destroy it. Target: prototype bomber. The experimental plane is probably housed in one of the hangars lining the base. First, bomb the hangars and identify the exact location of the plane.
Alright, now we're on mission 10, destroying the enemy's prototype bomber. And there's the Ace right there, MiG-31 Stalker. And pretty much the idea is that we have to destroy a shuttle, and even though the targets are not the primary, even though the hangars are not the primary targets, the primary target itself is the XB-10, which appears randomly in one of the hangars. The codename is Toy Box. We're here in the F-14, doing more Top Gun stuff. So, yeah, it's a pretty another straightforward mission. Majority of the missions on here are pretty straightforward. It just really annoys me on how they move to the left or to the right so quick that they evade my missiles. I guess that's what they're called missiles for, because they miss a lot. No, I'm just kidding. But that's sort of like a you know what I mean. So yeah, I decided to go and take down the F-117 since they're stealth fighters, and I didn't want to have that same problem as trying to hunt down the Razorback Aces. Just thought I'd go and take down the F-117s. I'm already getting tired. Excuse me. But it's probably because I'm yawning so much. It's because I just wondered where the entire holiday weekend and holiday break went. Because I had a full month off of college for Christmas, and there's a stalker. It takes 3 missiles to kill. And back to when I was said about the Christmas break. I mean, it just went by way too fast. I mean, extremely fast. And now I kind of was enjoying getting up like at 8 o'clock to watch some of the most good shows on TV, and then just doing these playthroughs. I kind of enjoyed it, but apparently I'm got to go back to college on Tuesday, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, I have it till from the 17th till May the 9th, and I think I'm got to do a summer semester. But it's just that I kind of wish that the summer semesters was like the start of my sophomore year, but technically it isn't. It's just probably just an extra semester to get the extra credit hours, I'm guessing. I mean, I kind of wish it would just not go by credit hours, which determines your next grade. Like, if you just complete 2 semesters, then if you pass your classes, you'll be considered a sophomore. But apparently, I'm not really sure what my college does it. Okay, back to the game. We just destroyed the hangar that housed the prototype bomber. But since we got that out of the way, I decided to keep attacking the ground units and the other aircraft. Just doing that old destroy the stealth planes first, so I won't have such a big problem looking for them. I mean, I really like the the music in this game. It's just a fine piece of art, fine piece of work, and it's just every time I hear it, it just makes me wonder, why don't they ever make music like this anymore? Or at least maybe put them as downloadable content like the PlayStation Store or something like that. The PlayStation Network, and make it downloadable content, like for Ace Combat Assault Horizon. And that's an Ace Combat I really want to have. It's one of the only Ace Combats I don't have. Plus I don't have, and there's another Ace Combat. It's one of the Ace Combats for the PSP. I think it's a Joint Assault. Yeah, I don't have Joint Assault either. So those are the only two that I'm missing. Oh, plus the Ace Combat that's going to be coming out for 3DS. Ace Combat 3D, I think is what it's called. Assault Horizon Remix or something like that. I heard that the DS version is basically a remake of this game, the second Ace Combat. I mean, I thought I'd get that a try. And here's the prototype bomber, the XB-10, and mission accomplished. The bomber name is called the XB-10, and one of the later missions, in one of the missions, it's actually shown flying, and you'd have to shoot it down. But I didn't get to that mission on this playthrough. I might get to that mission in the extra mode. Yeah, that is just a lot of bangs. That's quite a bit of targets. Now we've been promoted to a Chief Master Sergeant, and we've been awarded the RMOL, which is basically the Rafale. And you'll see a skip right now. I had to skip there because my battery was about to die and I had to recharge it. So now we begin Mission 11, Assault of the Mobile Fleet.
Assault of the Mobile Fleet. We have received information that the enemy's mobile fleet is on the move. They seem to be ready to rally immediately after joining forces with their frontline troops. Your mission this time is to attack the enemy's mobile fleet and put a stop to the sea invasion operation. Target: the enemy's mobile fleet. The Aegis cruiser's firepower capability is immense. Try to avoid being caught in its sights and use the hidden breakaway operation.
Basically, what the mission name? It's an air-to-ship mission. There's the second ZOE Ace, the ZOE Major, the Super Hornet, and those are the other aces, the RMO-1 Hangman. And those three F-14s, I guess you can say they're the Rosgreaves F-14s from Ace Combat 5, since they're black. But that's just what I think. And we're flying the F-14 again. And the codename mission for the name of this mission is Seagull. And whenever you fly the F-14 in this kind of mission, it just kind of reminds you of a little bit of just watching Top Gun a little bit. Because that's exactly what it does whenever I play this mission with the F-14. And there's the ZOE Ace, the Major, that is. So yeah, you don't have to worry about looking for him; he'll come straight for you whenever you try to destroy those two Harriers. So if you go after the Harriers, then you don't need to look for him because he'll find you. I mean, I kind of like that. I mean, I just wish that the enemies, like the aces, would find you, or at least put the white targets on the map instead of just the primary targets. Put the secondary targets, I guess you can say, put them on the map too. Yeah, I don't know why I was having such a problem with this. With that guy. Sometimes whenever It just makes me wonder how they do that, even though it looks like I was aiming at them directly. Shooting down these warships was kind of a problem. The reason why I shot 2 missiles is because to make sure I wouldn't miss, or flip around and try to do it again. Because when I usually shoot 1 missile at them, I usually miss. Because the warships obviously, the ship targets obviously don't stay still, and that kind of fell into why I didn't shoot down the warship. I shot down the missile and the machine gun on the warship. So I go for another run. And there it goes. And I decided to follow my wingman just to make sure if she was going after any aircraft, and I realized I missed the A6 and the F-18, so I just thought I'd go after them. And this is actually one of the most memorable songs from the game that I remember from my childhood. I may have already said this before. I'm probably gonna post the entire soundtrack on here, like I did with the first 2 songs, Bear Tracks and Rising High. So yeah, so that way, if you can't really understand the music properly, I'll put the entire soundtrack on here, so that way you can hear the music more clear. So now what we're doing is I'm trying to find those 3 F-14s that I found earlier. Or, I wouldn't say found, but they were on my radar, but I just didn't go after them. But when I followed my wingman, there they were. I decided to go ahead and take down the F-14s before I took down the RMO-1s, or Rafales, either way you want to call them. Now, I'm not sure what model Rafales they are. I'm thinking they're B model Rafales, or maybe M model, since they're called RMO-1s. That's just my thought, but anyway, we'll just call them RMO-1s for now. So I decided to go ahead and take down the Rosgrees like F-14s. Oh, and if you're in there, the Hangman Aces, if you're wondering why you keep seeing the paint design on all my planes, that's because that's the Scarface Squadron paint design. That's why, like those stripes on the wings and the little red arrow kind of like thing on the nose. That's the Scarface Squadron paint job. Or different kinds of paint jobs, that is. And I kind of wish that you'd be able to change your paint job on here, but apparently you can't. You can only use the current paint job, the Scarface Squadron. Because in the other Ace Combat Zone, you can change paints, and that's a pretty cool feature. It just makes me wish that they put that on here. And I was starting to get a little pissed and not shooting him down that quick. So the only target we have left is this little transport ship. Just a little harmless transport. Easy stuff. Mission accomplished. And as you can see where it said start, that we have to do a landing. This is our first landing. And as you can probably tell, we're going to land on a carrier. And landing on a carrier on here is pretty tough than you would think it is. Because I actually had a bit of a problem trying to land on here. Because sometimes whenever you think that whenever the plane's going to crash, it actually means that you're on the tip of the carrier, but whenever you think that you're going to land, you actually overshoot it. So it's just kind of hard trying to pick my landing. Like, see how low I am? You may think I'm going to crash into the carrier. I actually don't. So landing successful. More Top Gun crap. What am I saying? Top Gun crap. Top Gun's not crappy. More Top Gun stuff is more like it. So I guess you can say this part is Top Gun stuff all the way. Pretty much every time I use the F-14, it's just basically Top Gun. I mean, if that's what you want to call it. So anyway, we've been promoted to Warrant Officer. We've been awarded the EF-2000 Typhoon Eurofighter. Call it anything you want. And there's the badges for the Hangman and the ZOE Major. And decided going by we'll call it Typhoon for this part. I decided going by the Typhoon, and yeah, I'm gonna decide to go and save it here. Yeah, I already saved it earlier because I knew that I would usually have trouble trying to land on that, and I didn't want to have to show a plane crash on here, so I had to keep trying it over and over. So yeah, in the next part we will begin with Mission 12, breaking into the enemy submarine base. So take it easy, guys.